God damn, what's going on, fellas? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and we're back once again playing some more of Marvel Future Fight. And with the year coming to a close, I had quite a few of you guys requesting that I wrap this thing up by giving you guys a top 30 best characters, top 30 most impactful characters for me in Marvel Future Fight for 2018. This does not necessarily mean that these characters came to the game in 2018. It just means that these characters were the most impactful for me this year. Right now, like I always say, this is just my opinion based on how I like to play this game, and at the end of the day, it's always a matter of perspective, right? Because my top 30 may be completely different than your top 30, simply because some of the characters that I'm gonna list in my top 30, you may not have them yet because they're either premium or tier 2 native. So how could you possibly put those characters in your top 30 if you don't have them, right? So like I said, it's all a matter of perspective. If your top 30 looks completely different than mine, please feel free to leave it in the comment section. That being said, boys, let's get this thing started. So these characters that I have favorited right now, boys, these characters were the most impactful characters for me this year in Marvel Future Fight. It's been an amazing year, boys. Truly fantastic. Some of these characters were already in the game previously, but they got uniforms or reworks or changes that made them so much better in 2018, and it's just absolutely amazing. Now, this is not going to be in the traditional format of 1 to 30. I'm gonna be going off the cuff with this one, but of course, to start things off, we gotta take a look at my baby, my queen, my one true love. And if you guys are my bros, you already know who it is. My baby Scarlet Witch. Okay, the most impactful character of 2018, boys. Honestly, if you don't have her yet, you need to get on it. She's definitely going to still be a big part of this game in 2019, okay? Don't worry if you missed out. Having fun with her in 2018, 2019 is still gonna be Wanda's year. I can promise you that. There's only 3 meta abilities that I can think of off the top of my head that she doesn't possess, right? She doesn't have the ability to revive herself, she doesn't have damage accumulation, and she doesn't have the ability to hit people when they're in iframes. She doesn't have those, but everything else is in her kit, right? Without the uniform, she's fantastic. Iframes, damage, summon, reflect, heal, you name it, she's got it. With the uniform, she's a different level of beast. The crowd control is truly amazing. Just the mind control alone makes this uniform an absolute must buy. Probably the best uniform in the game by far. Seriously, just because of the mind control. Right here it says 5 seconds of mind control, but boys, believe me, it's actually 10 seconds, and 10 seconds of mind control on a skill that only has a cooldown time of 6.5 seconds. Once you have max skill cooldown, means you have the enemy at your mercy for the entire duration of every single fight if they don't have debuff removal. She's a nightmare in PvP if you don't have debuff removal, and she's a nightmare in PvE as well, okay? Definitely the best character in the game by far, right? And that's not me overhyping the character just because I like Scarlet Witch. She's just that useful as a striker, a standalone character, a leadership, everything. She's got it, baby. She's got it, okay? She's freaking amazing. Now, the second character that I gotta talk about, man, is a character that brought me so much joy, okay? Just by gracing this game with his presence. I thought I would be long dead, right, before he made it into this game. And he came to the game in such a beautiful way. It made me so happy. He came to the game in a way where he's free to play friendly and everybody can experience his awesomeness, right? That made me so freaking happy. And that's actually my guy, Wade, man. My guy, Wade, okay? Deadpool is in Marvel Future Fight. Literally, guys, I kid you not, sometimes I just come here and I literally just look at the character and geek out because I'm a really big Deadpool fan. Like, Deadpool is my favorite character in the entirety of Marvel, right? So, yeah. And he's a character that I never thought would ever be in Marvel Future Fight. And when I saw that he was coming, man, I was like a child, like, seriously. Beautiful. But on top of that, of course, being Deadpool, he's got to be more than just Flash. And he has the skills to pay the bills, man. Honest to God, he's so freaking awesome, so strong. He's top 3 in PvP and top 3 in PvE. Right? There's basically nothing in the game that he can't do. His damage is awesome, his survivability is awesome, and of course, since he has the debuff, the all defense debuff that he can apply to world boss, he's a staple when you're using him in the striker role as well. He's freaking awesome. I can't wait for an X-Force uniform for my guy. Oh my goodness. And honestly, boys, this freaking tier 3 animation, oh my goodness, I absolutely love it. Honestly, this is beautiful. Okay, absolutely beautiful. My favorite tier 3 animation from my favorite character. Honest to God, bro, Deadpool is my guy. Next character that was a big thing for me in 2018 is actually Captain America. Captain America. I'm a big Captain America fan, and Captain America has always kind of been lackluster. Great survivability, but no real damage. And in 2018, Netmarble finally got it right, okay? It took them, look how many uniforms it took them to get it right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get out of here. 5. 5 failures. Well, this isn't a complete failure. It's pretty good. But it took them 5 failed attempts to finally get it right with Captain America. And it made me so happy. In this uniform, his survivability is awesome with new iframes, damage immunity, stuns, all that good stuff. And of course, he has a debuff. Sorry, not debuff. He has a buff. Well, he does have a couple like all defense debuffs, but they don't apply to world bosses. So that kind of sucks. That would make him even better. But he has a buff on his 5th skill, and he has this amazing tier 3 freaking skill that gives him basically every buff in the freaking game. Honest to God, Captain America truly had an amazing year in 2018 in Marvel Future Fight. Truly did. And the only downside of this skill is it takes a bit of timing to get it right, and you can get guard broken, and if enemies jump into an iframe, they can cancel it out. But when everything lines up accordingly, it takes a bit of practice and a bit of timing to get it right. Everything dies. And if they're not dead, they lose a shit ton of HP. Honestly, Captain America, freaking beast. Another character, speaking of beast, another character that we're going to close out the year with that got freaking amazing out of nowhere. Well, that's not true. She was always amazing, but oh my goodness. The last half of 2018, easily, it's hers, baby. It's Sharon Rogers back into the fold with a new uniform and an insane tier 3 skill that basically can one-shot anything in PvP and in PvE. Everything is just getting shredded. Everything is just getting shredded. If you guys watch One Punch Man, this is basically the equivalent of a punch from Saitama, okay? Honest to God, bro, this skill is freaking insane. Right now, she's probably the strongest DPSing character in the game. That's pretty insane considering, yeah, the base kit damage, just like the other skills, don't really do that much damage, and she was kind of falling out of the meta. But this new tier 3 skill with this uniform that they gave her, oh my goodness, she's gonna be a staple for a very long time. It has me and plenty of other people now asking for harder content because we want to be able to use that skill more often, right? So yeah, they kind of did good, but they kind of did bad because of how strong they made her. Now people like me want harder content so we can use the skill more frequently. Speaking of using skills more frequently, Luna Snow, another character that's having a great year at the end here of 2018. Oh my goodness. They kind of messed up, well, not kind of, they messed up big time when they initially released their uniform and they had to go back and rework it. But I'm happy they did because now she's fabulous, absolutely fabulous. She has the potential to be one of, if not the strongest characters in the game. Right now, I already see people scoring 5 million points with her in ABX. And that's even without the freaking uniform. That is insane, right? Cable can't hit 5 million. And I've never seen anyone else be hitting 5 million. Not even Sharon Rogers. I know it's probably possible and Luna Snow can do it. Definitely Sharon Rogers could do it. But I'm already seeing people hit 5 million with Luna Snow in no uniform. That's insane, boys. The girl is so strong. And I feel like her tier 3 is probably one of the most like complete tier 3s in the game. Like everything else in her kit at tier 2 is good, but her survivability is kind of dicey. But with the tier 3, I feel like she's complete. She feels more complete. Like her survivability is great to go along with the damage. She's much easier to play as well. It's just a little bit more tricky to line up the damage proc accordingly when you have the tier 3 skill now in the rotation. But overall, a fantastic character, man. Absolutely loving her. I'm so happy that I got her to tier 3 and I should have did it sooner. I still did it pretty quickly, but I should have did it sooner because I kind of feel like I let you guys down a little bit by holding out so long. Anyways, next character that had a great year for me in Marvel Future Fight is my guy, Thor, the God of Thunder. Oh my goodness. One of the reasons why I started playing this game to begin with. When I saw that I could play as Thor in this game, because Thor is one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe, I was very, very happy. Him and Black Panther kind of like persuade me to give this game a chance because they were in the tutorial. I'm pretty sure they're still in the tutorial, and getting to play with them for a few seconds in the tutorial kind of sold me on the game. But when I came into the game and saw that he was just pure garbage, I was so upset. And similar to Captain America, it took them a few times to get it right. This one they got it right, but this one they got it, well, almost perfect. Well, actually, no, they did get it perfect with this uniform because his survivability goes from being questionable to being great in this uniform, and he has immaculate damage as well. The only letdown is his tier 3 skill isn't as strong as myself and a lot of people want it to be. However, hopefully, when they give him a new uniform for endgame, they do something about that. That would be great to see him get a little bit stronger when we're talking about the DPS on Thunderblow. But overall, Thor is freaking amazing. Thor is freaking amazing, and I regret nothing that I've done to him in this game. He's one of my favorite characters, and he's absolutely amazing. The next character that had an immaculate year in Marvel Future Fight is actually my guy, Thanos, the Purple Raisin, okay? Honestly, he's one of the best, if not the best PvP characters in the game right now. There's nobody he can't kill. However, there's a few characters that could go toe-to-toe with him. But at the end of the day, Thanos right now is the guy for PvP. Absolutely loving him. I can basically go undefeated even without a PvP setup for the guy. He's that good. But we're still waiting, Netmarble. Just because he's really good doesn't mean we're not still waiting for that signature snap where everybody gets eviscerated, okay? I want to see everybody get eviscerated. I want to see Thanos get his tier 3 for endgame. Okay, I know it might take a while to work on what you want the skill to do, but it's very easy, Netmarble. You could just make it so that when Thanos snaps and use his tier 3 ability, every enemy loses half of their current HP. I know that would be pretty broken for stuff like World Boss Ultimate, because if a boss has like 20 bars and Thanos snaps once and take them down to like 10 bars, it might seem pretty broken. But if you think about it like this, if they had 2 bars, you only take off 1 bar. right? So yeah, Netmarble, get on it. We're still waiting on Thanos tier 3. Let's get it for endgame, boys. But yeah, man, Thanos had an amazing year. The base kit kind of went downhill, and honestly, I forgot how it looked until now, right? It was really good when he first came out, but characters just flew past him in a matter of seconds, literally. Next character that had a great year is my guy Cable. Of course, he got a new uniform. A lot of us wanted the Deadpool 2 uniform, but this is actually really, really good. And now he's back at the top, boys, with better survivability, and that's great. A character that I don't show enough love to is actually Strife. I enjoy playing with the character. I've been meaning to give you guys some gameplay with him. Absolutely love him. He's truly phenomenal. The best blast supervillain in the game right now. I know most of you guys think it's Magneto. To each his own. Magneto tier 3 is actually pretty good as well, but Strife holding it down at the top for me. Another character that had a good year is actually Emma Frost. She got a uniform that made her much better. The base kit was just kind of underwhelming, and if it wasn't for the uniform, I wouldn't have built the character. That's just me personally. I know she's a bit expensive, and personally now, if you had to choose, I would go with Betsy over Emma. That's just me. Betsy's stronger, and of course you unlock Strife by purchasing Betsy, okay? Another character that I had a great year playing with, man, is actually Gambit. Lord Gambit graced this game with his presence, and he is super freaking awesome. He's basically the epitome of a glass cannon. You literally breathe in this guy's direction and he falls over. But if he gets the opportunity to land this 5th skill, you're basically eviscerated. You're done. You're donezo. So much freaking damage. Moving on, boys. We got Wanda. Yes, the mix between Wanda and X-23. Honestly, she's super freaking awesome. I was kind of annoyed when I saw we're getting a whole bunch of mismatched character, but I actually really like her, so much so that I got her gears to 25. It was a pretty steep investment for a character that basically will never get a uniform, because this is how she looks in the comics, and I don't see her getting her tier 3 anytime soon. But she's so freaking powerful. You don't have to invest as much as I've invested in the character, and you'll get a whole lot out of her. Absolutely love her, and I don't know if it's because she's Wanda or if it's because she's awesome. I think it's because it's both, right? Another character that I had so much fun playing with this year is actually Angel. You don't have to buy the uniform for him, but it does make him a little bit better. But if you're free to play, he's a staple for your roster. You absolutely have no choice but to pick him up, okay? I'm not giving you a choice. You don't have a choice. You have to get Angel. He's gonna change the way you play this game, PvP and PvE. He's so freaking awesome. Another character that had a great year, man, is actually Phantom X. Phantom X came along with Deadpool, and if you don't have Deadpool yet, you should definitely build this guy in the meantime. He's basically the poor man version of Deadpool. Has the heal, has the all defense down. He has mind control, which Deadpool doesn't have, right? And he has iframes just like Deadpool. Super freaking awesome. Very good damage, very good survivability. Absolutely love the guy. Okay, another character that I had so much fun playing with this year is my guy Pietro. Looking like Barney out here, rocking his pajamas, his jammy jams, okay? My guy, freaking awesome. I know I'm still slacking on getting him to level 70, but believe me, guys, Pietro is no slouch. At level 60, he can already out DPS the majority of my level 70s. I can clear stage 45 Proxima and 49 Corvus using level 60 Quicksilver. That's how strong he is. No CTP. Right? If you guys want to see some gameplay with him at level 60, let me know, because I think I'm going to push him to level 70 soon. This uniform is definitely really good because of the chain hit that it provides for the uniform bonus, and the fact that they finally fixed his 3 skills so it no longer overlaps with the ISO set. Another character that I've had a lot of fun using this year is actually Apocalypse. He's kind of going downhill. He needs a uniform badly. I still don't like how wonky he is to play, but he's very good for PvE and for PvP, okay? Jean Grey, of course. Of course, Jean Grey has to be in my top 30. So much fun to play. Absolutely love her in PvP. I want her to get a Dark Phoenix uniform soon because people are kind of like shitting on her now, and I don't like that feeling. But all it takes is for her to get her level 70. That's it. If she gets her level 70, she's already back into the fold. Back into the fold in terms of DPS in World Boss Ultimate. And that's where I would like to see her personally. But I think that Marvel is gonna do what they did for like Cable and other characters like her, where the place that she shines the most, that's where they're going to put her indefinitely. So I wouldn't be surprised if they give Jean Grey a uniform and a tier 3, but it doesn't really make her that big of a staple in World Boss Ultimate. It just propels her value in PvP. Personally, I wouldn't be too mad about it, but we need more PvP game modes that are more rewarding than just timeline battle. If we got a PvP game mode that gives us the opportunity to get CTPs and premium comic cards, I would be very, very happy if that was the case. But honestly, if that's not the case, I don't want a fully decked out Jean Grey for PvP. Even now, I still have her built for PvE with a 200% proc, right? When I know a CTP of Authority is probably the best thing for her. Anyways, another character that I had a lot of fun playing with this year is my guy, Logan. My guy really needs his level 70. We really need a level 70, possibly a tier 3 for this guy, and another uniform because he's kind of falling down. Still one of the best combat characters in the game. Had a lot of fun with him. Still have a lot of fun with him. Haven't used him on the channel in a while, but he's definitely a freaking beast. Absolutely love Logan, man. Next is actually my guy, Doctor Strange. Had a very good year, has a very good uniform that allows him to hit people when they're in iframes with his one skill, which is actually not shown here. This is actually really, really good. Makes him a staple in timeline battle. Haven't showed him much love lately, and that's because he's really not that powerful when it comes to World Boss Ultimate, which is where I spend the majority of my time. But in PvP, Doctor Strange is an absolute monster. Another character that I was initially disappointed with when I purchased the uniform for her is actually Wasp, but after playing with her more and more, I'm actually loving her. She's so freaking good for PvP. She can go toe to toe with the best of them. Honestly, any character that doesn't have immunity to guard break, and I mean any character that doesn't have immunity to guard break, even Thanos, who I praise as the best PvP character in the game right now, if he doesn't have immunity to guard break, the Wasp using her 1 and 2 combo because they're on really low cooldown and they're long iframes, right? She can actually pick him apart, even with the ridiculous healing and the fact that Thanos has a bunch of iframes and all that stuff. The Wasp is just that good in this uniform, right? So yeah, shout out to the Wasp. On top of that, of course, her tier 2 passive is definitely freaking awesome. We really need to see more characters get a passive like this. I wouldn't say as good as this, but like this, just so that we can kind of balance out the game a little bit. But until then, Wasp will have insane value, and that's kind of why she's on this list for me. Now, Shuri is on this list for me for more than just her tier 2 passive. Of course, she's one of the best support characters in the game, but I have a lot of fun when I use Shuri just because of how safe she is. She has a long iframe on the fort, and she has, as you can see right here, 7 seconds of damage immunity, right? 7 seconds of damage immunity to go with multiple iframes. Absolutely love using her. Super safe, good damage, and of course a great tier 2 passive. So love Shuri, man. Absolutely love Shuri. Then we got my guy Peter, okay, the timeline god, the PvP god. Absolutely love this guy. Honestly, man, we need more rewarding PvP content. That's the only thing holding me back from bringing my guy Spidey to tier 3. We need more rewarding PvP content in Marvel Future Fight. If we had more rewarding PvP content, he would be a tier 3 because he's absolutely fantastic. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic, man. Next is actually my guy Miles. Okay, I can't believe it, boys, but yes, Miles is in my top 30 for this year. Okay, this guy was pure garbage before he's into the Spider-Verse uniform. Absolutely love the movie, and I love the uniform so much. He's so freaking powerful. He's now one of the best characters in the game. Great survivability, great damage. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, I'm gonna get this uniform to Mythic real soon, man. Absolutely loving him. Another character that's new to the game and already making a big impact in my heart is actually White Fox. Really strongly debating with myself whether or not I want to push it to level 70. But even at level 60, she's freaking awesome. I can already clear very, very, very high stages in World Boss Ultimate. I can clear 39 Proxima and 39 Corvus with absolute ease using a mediocre build with no Urus, nothing like that. And that's not even her main purpose. Her main purpose is to be used as a support type because of her kimono stance tier 2 passive. She's meant to be a support character, but she's badass on her own, right? She has long iframes on her 5th skill, and then she has damage immunity with a buff here and a heal on Soul Snatcher. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, did we talk about the charm? The charm. Oh my goodness. She's staple, boys. You gotta have her. Absolutely gotta have her. Then we got Winter Soldier. This guy is basically the epitome of what it means to go from being a goddamn zero to a mother hero, okay? Seriously, this guy, D tier, E tier. If there's an F tier, he's there. He's it. And then complete 360, boys. Seriously, this is a must-buy uniform for me, okay? Even if he gets another one in the future, this one has so many meta qualities. It's just freaking awesome, right? He gets damage immunity. He gets the ability to hit people when they're in iframe. He can penetrate everything. Honest to God, so much damage, good survivability. Absolutely love Winter Soldier. From zero to hero, this is it, Chief. It's freaking awesome when sometimes you take a look at some of the changes that Netmarble is able to do to certain characters. It's freaking mind-boggling, right? Next up, AntMan. AntMan, he's low down in my top 30. Like I said, this isn't necessarily from 1 to 30. I'm just going off the cuff here. He's low down because of the fact that this is how he always looks in the comics, so I don't see him getting another uniform. But he's still, in my opinion, the strongest universal super villain in the game for ABX, right? He has decent survivability because he has damage immunity and a heal and a guard, and he has amazing damage. So I still see value in building the character, even though he's probably never going to get a uniform, and he's probably not going to get his level 70 and tier 3 for a while, right? Next up is actually another character that ideally you should be using in the support role, but he's freaking fantastic on his own, Ghost Panther. And I'm not sure if the reason why I love him so much is because he's a mix of two characters that I freaking love, but honestly, Ghost Panther is freaking awesome. Multiple really long damage immunity skills to go along with a long iframe on his 5th skill, and of course one of the best tier 2 passives in the game with a very good leadership. This guy has so many good qualities. In my opinion, he's the best bioselector character in the game right now. Okay, he's not stronger than Gambit, even though Gambit is not a bioselector, he's an X-Gene selector. But if we're talking about all the premium characters in the selectors, he's the best just because he offers more value, right? He's a good character, well, a great character on his own for damage, but he can also be used in the support role or the leadership role or both, right? Whereas with Gambit, sure, Gambit has a 50% ignore dodge leadership and great damage, but outside of that, you don't really use Gambit for anything. Next on this list, man, I absolutely had to give Iron Hammer a little bit of shine. I use him so often. He's so freaking powerful. I absolutely love the entirety of his kit. He has a nice mixture of damage immunity, iframes, a heal, and very good damage. It was ultimately between him and my guy Rhodey, who also had a very good year because he got a new uniform that took him out of the sunken place that made him really freaking good. So ultimately it was between these two characters. I chose to put Iron Hammer just because he's free to play and you don't need a uniform, whereas Rhodey is free to play and you need a uniform, right? And to be honest, Rhodey is still kind of dicey to use because he doesn't have a heal, and if you catch him outside of the 5th skill, which does insane damage, the guard doesn't really do too much, right? He doesn't have damage immunity. So yeah, that's why I put put Iron Hammer on my list and not Rhodey. There's definitely other characters here that could make the top 30, so it's completely up to you guys. Like I said, it's a matter of perspective. 30 characters is only like 18%, 17% of the characters that's currently in the game. So it's pretty hard to make a top 30 that's gonna be including every character that I think is powerful, right? Lastly, I gotta give my boy Sam some shine. Gotta do it, boys. Gotta do it. Sam is so freaking powerful, even though he's kind of being left behind because he doesn't have his level 70 yet. He doesn't have gear 25. He doesn't have a tier 3. He's still freaking powerful. He can push stage 35, 36, 37 against some of the bosses, and he's still holding down the PvP scene because of the fact that he can basically one-shot the majority of the characters in the game using his 2 skill. And all it's really gonna take for him to take over PvP once more is for him to not even get a uniform, just get level 70. If he gets level 70, he's already back at the top, murdering everybody, right? And there's definitely a uniform in his future, whether it's the Richard Rider uniform or a uniform for Sam. It's just completely up to when Netmarble decides to show him some love. But definitely expect Nova to come back in the fold, if not in 2019, in 2020, sometime in the future, because there's a lot of money to be made there for Netmarble. So those of you guys who are holding up, halting your grind on this guy from the processor, don't do that, okay? Double down, farm him right now, so that when he rises back to the top, you will have him done just like I did. I grinded for this guy for 10 months. So even though he's out of the fold right now, when he moves back into the meta and completely shreds everybody, I'll have him ready and I can do the exact same thing. Anyways, boys, we're gonna wrap it up right here, man. I know it was really long, and that's why I don't like to do these type of videos, but leave your top 30 in the comment section, boys. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far, man, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.